This is my audience. It's Jasmine Jefferson, and my presentation is on safe sex. Safe sex is considered to be any sexual activity in which a person takes measures to reduce the risk of STDs. Always keep in mind that no sex, regardless of how you think or look at it, is 100% safe. The word safer sex is often used instead of safe sex. As you should always know, using condoms or having only one sexual partner who is free of STDs and avoid drugs and alcohol are all examples of safe sex practices. Taking these measures can greatly reduce the risk of STDs such as chlamydia, gonorrhea, genital herpes, HIV, and AIDS. Practicing safe sex, or some may call it safer sex, can prevent STDs. People should be made aware that STDs aren't only spread through sex-related acts, but also genital skin-to-skin contact by sharing needles from a woman to her childbirth or breastfeeding. If you ever need to have sex with someone, always keep in mind to be safe while in the act. If no one ever mentions to you, then I'll be the first to tell you the important factors to keep in mind when I say safe sex. Make sure it's with a good man. Don't be forced to have sex if it's tell you the important factors to keep in mind when I say safe sex. Make sure it's with a good man. Don't be forced into having sex if it's not something that you really want, and don't be attacked, threatened, blackmailed, or even manipulated. Please be protected from sexually transmitted infections. Do not have an unplanned pregnancy. The most basic knowledge you should always know to recognize an STI: look out for unusual discharge from your vagina. Anything that's greenish, grayish, or yellowish in color. If you have anything itching around the entrance of your vagina, if you have a burning sensation through your vagina right after sex, if you have any blisters or warts, please be cautious of these things. Also keep in mind that not all people have symptoms. So, to be on the safe side, you should always know your body better than anyone. According to National Health website, there are a few well-known contraceptives that women should always know about and should use as a plan B, aside from using condoms. There are barrier methods referred to, such as male and female condoms. Hormonal contraceptive means taking hormones into your body which will clash with your own hormones and also your fertility. There are IUDs. This particular device is placed inside the uterus to prevent pregnancy. As you should know, no birth control can protect you from sexually transmitted diseases. There are many important condom tips as well, such as never use the same condom that you just used. If you're having sex for a long period of time, change it every 30 minutes. Always remember that condoms expire and may not be as protecting as should. I know you may have heard of the reasons that men may not want to use condoms, such as they may find it to be odd to just stop in the middle of sex and put on a condom, or they may say that it takes away from the pleasure of sex. Those aren't reasons to not use protection, and the outcome of it all, it's important to use protection. There are some guys that feel that they can talk you out of using one, and there are some females who actually fall for it. Unprotected sex isn't something that is always okay to just go along with. My next recommendation to safe sex will be to be very careful. Yes, we know that sex can be fun, but it can also be used in an abusive way. I want to discuss and just focus on the consequences of when you decide that you don't want to be careful when it comes down to sex. As you know by now, it's common to just assume that unwanted pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections are the main risks associated with sex. To have sexual relations with someone from the jump is a risk in itself. That's the reason everything always come up. Take a moment to think about this. Does the price paid for sexual diversity outweigh its benefits when multiple sequential relationships crumble? All the losses compounded. With insights on that, I would say that it depends. Because if relationships were taken lightly, then ending them would be less serious and heartbreaking. As some may be able to relate, changing partners become a comfortable routine for them, just like the seasons change every few months, an inevitable part of life. This will go hand in hand with young people. For instance, those are some that think they like to try new sexual partners, almost coherent when you come to changing hairstyles. The big question is whether nothing ventured means nothing was gained. As you get older and wiser, experimenting will be like a developmental step towards making wise sexual decisions. As you know, there's always a flip side to almost every situation, at most pertaining to those who relationships go downhill. For instance, unwanted pregnancy and also sexually transmitted infections will be higher when you're having sex with someone carelessly, because the sexual conduct will be different with someone you have built something with over time versus someone you just met a week ago. Along with having sex, that's a big responsibility in itself. If you're planning to have sex, it is imperative that you're being careful and protecting yourself. Anything, always stay safe and healthy. While many people will argue that the best way to stay safe is to practice abstinence, not everyone believes this is so. If you're going to engage in an intimate relationship, it's important to know about the various items that can be used to ensure safe sex. Please remember that practicing safe sex not only prevent unwanted diseases, but also prevent unwanted pregnancy as well. So, use condoms and also use birth control as well. I'm a believer in prevention. Your choices are always better when you work on the problems on the front end. Anticipate future issues and work to prevent them from happening. Jane K., Sexual Violence Service Conductor, South Carolina Department of Health. Practicing safe sex, or some may call it safer sex, can prevent STDs. People should be made aware that STDs aren't only spread through sex-related acts, but also genital skin-to-skin contact by sharing needles from a woman to her childbirth or breastfeeding. Regardless of whether you are casually dating someone or involved in a serious relationship, if you are being intimate, it is imperative to be safe. There are many tools available to help people practice safe sex, and the use of these tools will ultimately prevent the spread of diseases which could potentially be fatal. Being safe and smart will help you to avoid suffering the consequences of unsafe sex. Safe sex is great sex. Please get tested. Use condoms. Practice mahogany. Limit number of sex partners and stay sober. These are the few STDs that you can get if you decide that you do not want to be safe while having sex. These are all birth control methods. All of these can prevent you from getting pregnant, at least for the most part. These are sexual barriers. You have male condom and you have a female condom, but nobody really uses female condoms. Is this your number? Or is this your number? Please be safe and practice safe sex.